Hey, this is Brian with The Balanced Dog, and down here I have Maya. And she's one of two German Shepherds, same owner, that I trained almost 2 years ago. And they were calling me with some issues about the dogs barking in the house at everything that went by the house. These were kind of new behaviors that started cropping up. And so I'm not really big on advising. They wanted to use bark collars and to kind of curb that behavior. But I kind of wanted more information before I kind of recommended something like that. And so in the end, they scheduled like 2 7-day follow-ups with me. And so this is, Maya just came in a couple days ago, and then Zazu, the other one, I'd sent home. So my point in this video is to always listen to the client and what's going on their end is really critical. And so you're trying to get all this information to kind of piece, all this together, collect the dots, then connect the dots kind of a thing. And so when the first dog came in, it was apparent there was just a lot of anxiety in him. And mind you, I had these dogs 2 years ago, so I know what their state was then. And so things like putting a leash on Zazu, the first dog, just got him like super ramped up. Just putting your hands on him just to, stroke him for being in a sit or whatever, it just accelerated him. So it tells me there was a lot of overexcitement going on, a lot of probably petting the dogs when they were overexcited, a lot of talking to the dogs. And in the end, that's what it was. After returning the first dog back to them and got him all dialed back in, the dogs didn't forget what they were taught. The other thing is that they had done some programming to the remote collars, and programming I didn't do. So they basically fixed the dog's levels on pretty high levels, 18. I think the other one might have been like 19. Or even 20. So basically every time they were using the e-collar, they were stimming the dog on 20. These dogs worked in the single digits when they were with me. So that in and of itself can cause a lot of anxiety, because if a dog's in a calmer state and you're using 20 to ask him for a sit or a down, that can be pretty traumatic for a very sensitive dog. It's almost like a punishment, and so I don't know how those collars got set that way. The other thing is that they had a different brand of e-collar on Maya, the one I have here, and they all of a sudden were trained in German commands. So there was a lot of things going on there, and this is a conversation I had with the clients. And so be it, whether they trained the dogs in German, I didn't. The dogs were acting behavior as far as when you were asking them to go into downs and stuff. It was very much a timid down, and that was probably due to the fact that the e-collars were locked at very high levels. So in the end, what I'm doing is just recalibrating the dogs to touch, or dialing in their place again, and then coaching the owners, instead of using a bark collar when the dogs are barking at things going by the house, that we're going to go do recall work and then send the dogs to the place, so that they learn that whatever goes by the house, whether it's a dog or mail truck or whatever, instead of punishing them with a bark collar, we're going to direct them away from that stimulus and send them to place, which is a very calm state of mind. That's what place is designed to be. So it's just kind of a good little lesson in letting the dogs tell you what's going on. Listen to the owner, but the dogs are going to actually tell you what's really going on, and obviously looking at the equipment. So in the end, I think they may have done some training on their own, or somebody else, I don't know. But all I know is that when they picked up Zazu, they were really impressed. Hi, kiddo. Leave it. Of how much calmer he actually was, even when they were handling him. So anyways, that's just a little interesting tidbit on when dogs come back to you for a brush up, or when you're just having an issue and you're trying to troubleshoot something over the phone. Ask a lot of questions. But the dogs are always going to let you know what's really going on in the end. So, all right, have a good one. We're going to go out and continue our work with this young lady. Have a great one. See ya.